was setting a high-volume independent tire shop in northern New England. We'll call it 123 Tire. The target, evil general manager. We'll call him Jay. Ooh. Aggrieved parties. Basically, everyone that worked there at the time, but mainly myself and the receptionist. We'll call her Ruth. The backstory. So Jay had been the GM of 123 Tire since he got the previous GM fired in 2004.
Game of tires.
He was and is a complete narcissist who believed he could do no wrong. And if you didn't agree with him, God help you. Over the years, Jay had done a number of illegal things. For example, he was always very physical with his employees. One time, he was wrestling with another salesman. This was commonplace and unavoidable if you valued your job.
Oh, you want that client?
I'll wrestle you. So he was wrestling this other salesman. We'll call him Paul. And Paul took a bad fall and broke his knee. In order to avoid the ire of the owner, we'll call him Lou, Jay immediately clocked Paul out and told him to go to the hospital. That was basically because like the guy would have to use his own insurance instead of the company insurance.
Right.
Paul did as he was told and kept his job, but his knee was never the same. Oh my God, this is sad. And he ended up addicted to opioids thanks to Jay's actions.
Oh God.
Damn, Jay, you're just ruining lives left and
Jeez.
right, all from these wrestling matches. Jay also had an affinity for the ladies.
Ooh.
Now, I must mention here that Jay is an ultra-conservative Christian father of 11 children.
11?
My God, Jay.
Jeez, and he's still trying to get more. This is God.
Jay,
Slow
you
it
gotta,
down.
you know, you spread your seed enough. Maybe it's time to like focus on wrestling your employees or something.
Yeah, we need to wrestle his member down.
Yeah.
We gotta beat that into
Or
submission.
maybe like his true calling is like the MMA or WWE. That's what we need him at. He needs to be wrestling professionally.
Yeah.
He believes that a woman's place is uneducated, barefoot, pregnant, and in the kitchen.
Barefoot?
Barefoot. Women can't wear shoes.
How dare you?
How dare you?
That is the devil's shoe, sir.
Yeah, unless it's like one of those like China shoes from like the 1800s.
Where they like break
Yeah,
your
where
foot
they break
into,
the
like,
foot. Yeah, that's the only shoe that they're allowed to wear according to this guy. That being said, several female receptionists came and went over the years, with only Ruth sticking around because she needed the money and begrudgingly accepted the regular sexual harassment.
Ugh,
This man's a piece of work.
God.
When he wasn't behaving inappropriately with every lady that walked in the door, he was behaving inappropriately with every other employee.
This is the worst boss I've ever heard of.
I know.
In my
It's
entire
like
life.
it's like a malevolent Michael Scott.
Yeah. If Michael Scott was actually evil.
Yeah. Want to leave early on a slow day? Wrestle the biggest guy in the shop for it.
God.
Jay was big on wrestling. If the big guy isn't in that day, buy him a pizza. Trying to have lunch? Expect Jay to throw food at you. Want to schedule a
Why?
vacation? Tough. He'll let you know a week in advance if you can take it. He was a complete child, and I put up with him for 6 long years, but I would never let him win.
Ooh.
The revenge.
Foreshadowing.
It was the summer of 2012, and Ruth and I had had enough. Jay was completely out of control as usual, now telling me, a Latino, that if Obama won re-election, that he would make my life hell come November.
Huh?
Why? Why?
This guy.
It's
Wow.
like if this thing out of your control happens, your life is going to be
I
miserable.
keep thinking he's like, wow, this guy's awful, but he keeps upping the
Yeah.
ante. It's
He's so good
incredible.
at being bad.
Yeah.
Ruth was going through a divorce, and he was trying to move in on her. For the record, Ruth hated Jay's guts. And so it was time to hit him where it hurt.
Yeah.
Ruth was ready to drop a lawsuit for sexual harassment on Jay and 123 Tire, and I was ready to drop one for constructive discharge. Now, suing an employer doesn't exactly look good on one's CV, but we were both at wit's end.
Yeah.
So now we're at it, John. The revenge.
Yeah.
Ruth and I decided one evening that Jay's ultra-conservative values must be shared by his wife and his family. As he was always working, his wife must be the one who goes to the mailbox every day.
Barefoot.
Barefoot.
And pregnant. She's literally
Always
constantly pregnant.
with a spatula in hand.
Yeah.
I created a throwaway email and got him a Bill Me Later subscription to Hustler Magazine, Playboy, and Penthouse. The trifecta.
I'm loving this.
Fast forward a couple of weeks, and he comes in looking like death warmed over. Turns out Mrs. J didn't appreciate his new taste in reading material, and now he's living in a motel in the next town over.
Wow.
He's not saying his wife kicked him out. He's far too narcissistic for that. But I could put 2 and 2 together. He said that he decided he's done with his wife and 11 children, and he's going to start a new life with none other than Ruth.
Wow.
Ruth, the one that hates his guts.
I love how he's just deciding. Like,
Yeah.
I have decided my new life is with you.
Yeah, just make sure to take off your shoes
Congratulations.
and take the spatula. And are you pregnant?
Yeah,
because
yeah.
you should be.
Get on it.
After all, her divorce is going to be finalized at the end of the week. So, wow.
Perfect
so
timing.
serendipitous. It was at this point that Lou's sister, co-owner of 123 Tire, and not a big fan of Jay, we'll call her Liz, overheard him talking to Ruth in a less than business appropriate manner. Liz later took Ruth aside and got straight poop on what's been happening for the last several years. And that was that. But several years. How does it take several years for this guy?
Seriously, bro. Like, and it's like so obvious. And also it sounds like they don't like him already.
No one likes him.
Fire him, bro.
No, fire him. But there's more. Oh. The next morning, Lou called Jay to his office and was far kinder than I would have been. Jay was to lose his title of GM and go to work in another 123 Tire location an hour away until the end of the year. Beginning in 2013, Jay would need to find other employment. Jay was also, I think it's probably like, there was probably some contract thing. Like maybe it was on contract.
Oh, they're obligated
to hire him until 2013.
Interesting.
Also, the location that Jay was relocated to added an hour to his already hour-long commute.
Nice.
Yikes. I suspected that Lou also encouraged Jay to reconcile with his wife, which Jay did.
Oh, he did?
Yeah, but I don't think they got back together, just like they apologized.
Yeah.
But this gets better and crazier.
I don't know how I could get more, but let's do it.
So Jay ended his employment with 123 Tire in January of 2013 and never suspected any involvement from me. In fact, to this day, he stays in an occasional contact with me.
That is crazy that he got away with it and he never even suspected him. That's
yeah,
incredible.
I know. That means like OP was, I guess, like pretty close to the chest about not liking this guy.
Yeah, because and if he's reaching out to him, that's even
like Jay's like, oh, I'm still buddy with OP.
Yeah.
He went to work for another tire store, this one a corporate chain, as a store manager. He put his house on the market, bought a new one closer to his new employer and everything. A year later, he was fired after bringing a 7-figure lawsuit on them.
Ooh.
They settled out of court and he moved back to the house he was in before as it hadn't sold.
He couldn't even sell his house. That's how hard this guy is
Jay's
losing.
next job was 5 minutes from his home, and his new boss was the guy that had gotten Jay fired back in 2004. That one lasted a couple of years until Jay gave up on finding employment in the area and moved himself and his whole family to the Midwest around 2016. Now in the Midwest, Jay has been unable to keep a job in the car business for more than a year, and as soon as each of his kids turns 18, they seem to move right back to the area they grew up. His New England home sold in 2019 for less than he bought it for. Ruth still works at 123 Tire and is very happy there now. The icing on the cake. In early 2021, I finally left my job at 123 Tire, sold my house, and became a full-time RVer. I've seen the 47 U.S. states, including the Midwestern state and town that Jay resides in. I looked him up when I got there, and he came to see me after he got out of work in my new RV. He said, "Boy, you must really think something of me to look me up and want to see me all the way out here. If you only knew the half of it."
Wow. Dude.
Damn, dude, OP is kind of maniacal, bro.
Dude.
Like Jay just thinks like OP and him are buddies.
Yeah.
And like the only reason that OP went out and traveled to the middle of America to see this guy is just to basically gloat at how terrible this guy's life is.
Also, like, if he had gotten away with all that stuff for 6 years, probably he would have eventually gotten something brought on him. But the reason why his life was completely destroyed was because of OP.
I know.
And he has no idea.
Big yikes,
okay,
dude.
Also, if this person like Jay, if Jay ever comes across this, he has to know. I mean, all of the details.
Yeah, the 3 magazines. I mean, how many people work at a tire shop and have had that happen and have 11 kids? Like the amount of people that is true for is very, very small.
Guys, if you think you know either OP or Jay, please do the like
At
Beyonce, where they go and they find people. Go do that. and then report back to us in the comments and let us
Please
know.
do.
Let us know
We
who you
want to
find.
track these people down.
Yeah.